So my name's Tracey Dawson. I'm the Senior Vice President for Neurosciences for the Neuroscience Therapeutic area in our business side. I've been with Novartis for a number of years now, and I look after both our multiple sclerosis and our SMA business. And so super excited to be with you today to tell you a little bit more about what we're doing in SMA and why we're excited about the campaign that we're launching. Well, the biggest change for the community and for the physicians is that since, 2018, 2019, there are now multiple treatment options available for SMA where before there were none. That is a really big change. And what that means is that babies now born with SMA have a chance to be treated and live more normal lives. So in some cases, entirely normal lives. And for older kids as well, they're now receiving treatments which is helping, preserve muscle strength and preserve mobility and let them meet more milestones. That's really exciting for the community. I was recently at the SMA meeting and someone shared the anecdote that a few years ago, you didn't need chairs because everyone who attended it, unless they were the parent, were largely in wheelchairs. Now you have kids that are on scooters. You have, kids that are walking with aids. And so they need chairs now. And so that was just something unforeseen for them 5, 6, 7 years ago. So that I think really speaks to the magnitude of change that this community has experienced over the last few years with the advent of treatment for SMA. Smashing My Limits is the new campaign that we just launched at QSMA just the other month. And we're super excited about it because what Smashing My Limits does is it shines a light on teens and young adults and the things that they go through every day living with SMA. Things that you and I would normally take for granted. That for them are really big achievements that in their mind often go unrecognized. And so by launching Smashing My Limits, that was the cheeky title we came up with because we actually literally heard them saying, I'm living beyond people's expectations. I'm breaking past where people thought I could be. It gives them a platform where they can share those stories. And we already feature a couple of people on the website. You've seen Charlie, for example. He's just a high school kid who plays basketball. He just happens to do it in a wheelchair, but no one thought he would basically be able to achieve that. And he has become an incredibly passionate advocate for adaptive sports along with his mom. So we're really excited to share those types of stories and give a voice to teens and young adults who are living with SMA. The importance of sharing these stories is really that it's to just normalize, living with a disability. Normalize that just because you may have some neuromuscular disabilities doesn't mean you can't achieve everything that you wanted to achieve. And so I think that's the bit that's really important. Sarah, who's also featured on the website, she talks about no one ever expected her to go to college, and yet she's doing that independently and pursuing a career in filmmaking. Has actually already produced a few short documentaries as well. So that's the importance of what this site can do, is it can share those stories. And once you get 1 or 2 people coming forward, then I'm confident that we'll get 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll get more. And that voice that we can give to the community is really well appreciated. I hope the community takes away from this campaign a couple of things. First of all, that we are committed to being on their journey of SMA with them. Secondly, that we are there to help provide resources. And if we don't have those resources, we can point them to areas such as we do on the website, like to connect with QSMA, to connect with the Muscular Dystrophy Association. And then thirdly, it's actually, I hope they take away from that what they do matters every single day. And people should know more about that, and we want them to share that. And so I can bring it back to the cheeky title around smashing their limits. They should be really proud of that. They should be very excited by sharing these stories. So the campaign will continue to grow. We recently added a few more resources to the website. The nice thing about the campaign is if you think about teens and young adults, and I have 2 teens in my own house, you need to meet them where they are. So you won't see glossy TV ads. What you'll see is a dynamic presence across multiple platforms, which will meet them where they are. So web, Instagram, etc. So, more resources are coming. We already have resources around how to explain SMA, how to make the transition to adulthood. That's a big deal now that kids are living longer with SMA. And also prompts to give them the self-confidence to share their stories. We also have links to obviously things like Cure SMA and MDA that they can also go find out more information. And so the campaign will continue to grow, and we're really excited to see where it goes over the next few months in terms of continuing to share stories for people that are living with SMA. I will leave you with the thought of, for anyone watching this, to go visit the site, which is www.smashingbylimits.com, and have a look at the stories of Charlie and Sarah, and really just be, just embrace that and be proud of it. And if you know someone who's living with SMA, encourage them to share those stories, because the more that we share, the more that people will understand. And I think also the more we normalize what it means to smash limits, irrespective of whether you have a disability or not.